What is up, everyone? Welcome back to the Murphy Lawn Care channel. All you beautiful people on YouTube. It is mid-September, guys. We are just about done with the mow season here in North Carolina, and we are getting closer and closer to leaf season, which I hope goes better for us this year. Last year, we came out with like kind of the bare minimal. We got our butts handed to us, but we got it done and we made it through it. I'm pretty sure the amount of times the jobs took us to do, we lost money, but end of the day, we did still get money. So, I'm going to call that a win. We're coming out with a bunch of different equipment this year, and we also have some stuff subcontracted out. So I'm hoping this year goes a lot better for us, but we'll see. That's not what this video is about. This video is about, for any of you that don't know, this has been my first year going full-time with my lawn care business, and I have learned a lot of things. I know when I started getting into this business, there's a lot of excitement and stuff that goes around that. But like anybody else, I'm checking YouTube, checking places. I'm trying to find information about starting my own lawn care business, and you can find some good things out there. But I think a lot of times you get things coming from these big businesses that have already made it, and they're trying to look back at how it was when they started. And sometimes it's hard to think of how it felt in those times when things were going wrong, when you've made it to the point in your business is a success and there's not a lot of worry. Now, there's always worry in business. Once you get to a certain point, you don't really think about the beginning as much, and that stress is kind of dwindled down because you've got used to it. But for me, it's fresh. So today, I'm going to give you the 5 things that I have learned about running a lawn care business, or anybody that's thinking about going full-time or starting a lawn care business. Some of these things go for just a small business in general, but these are things that I think I would have liked someone to tell me. Would they have affected my decision? Not necessarily, but they may have made a difference on how I structured my business before we ever got started. Number 1 is people will steal from you in a heartbeat. And I'm not talking about taking stuff off your trailer, although they will do that if you don't lock it up. We have had several customers this year just decide, after a certain mode, they just didn't need mode anymore. And instead of being, hey, man, we're going to pay this invoice, appreciate you, we'll take it from here, they just stop replying and they don't pay. We actually have one customer now that owes a substantial amount of money to us. And it's to the point with this customer, we never had an issue out of them before, but if we can't get it resolved, we're actually going to take her to small claims court. Now, that is an option that you guys have as a small business, but it needs to be a substantial amount of money before I'd even, if they just didn't pay you $50 for mowing, small claims court's not worth your time. But if they, owe you, I'm not going to say what we're owed, but it's a good amount of money. But in those situations, for me, it's worth the time, worth the trouble, and we're also going to be suing for all the costs that it costs us to take this person to a small claims court. Now, one thing I will tell you in this is something that I've always done, but I never realized the importance of it until having issues like this. Before and after pictures are everything, and detailed text messages. That way, that if you take the court, they can look and see that you were very clear with every intention that you had in this process, the services you were going to provide. There's no, I could see where they might have thought you meant this. No, I made it very clear with the conversation that I sent. That's not what I meant. So before and after pictures also show that you did do the work, what it looked like before you did the work, what you did after the work, and the proof that you deserve compensation. So make sure you do that. I do that just for advertising, but it's great for other reasons as well. Number 2 thing that I learned is, this one's honestly kind of weird, but it really falls in the line right now, and it's burnout. You can get burnout really easy in anything, which is what kind of makes this weird. But when you get in your own business, you get so excited about customers that you start wanting to just take anybody you can, and that's good. You get a lot of customers. It's good to a point. Get a lot of customers, and next thing you know, you get one really hard rainy week, and especially the bi-weeklies, which is why next year, I'm really only going to be doing weekly. I'm going to let all my customers that are bi-weekly know, if you continue to go with us, we will be servicing on a weekly basis. And the reason for that, if you miss a week, the next week's pretty much the same. You don't have bi-weeklies constantly bouncing around, taking a light week to a major week, and then, just making one week overwhelming, which can happen this next week we got a bunch of rain coming in. I've already let them know that there's a chance there will be a disruption in service. We're sorry, but it is what it is. If it's raining all day, there's nothing much we can do. If your yard's a mud puddle, not putting a mower in it and tearing it up either, because then I'm going to be responsible for that. So that is definitely one thing. But you get situated like that, especially near the end of the season like this, it's very, very easy to get burnt out. So build a comfortable pace for yourself, guys. Don't go trying to grow too fast. Growing too fast can lead to burnout and a bunch of other issues. I honestly kind of made that mistake a little bit this year. We're correcting it now, and we're doing all right. Number 3 is I may have put a 3 up for the last one. I can't remember if I did. Forgive me. Number 3 is don't accept every single customer. Everybody that calls, you don't need to take them as a customer. Make sure that you're getting paid what you want to. If you have to argue about, the pay to a certain point, probably not worth taking, because they're going to be a person that nitpicks you. Every time something needs to be done, they're going to want you to throw it in or give them a discount. I have set prices. If you don't like my prices, go to the next guy. Argue with him. I don't know how much time he's got, but maybe he's got more time than I do. I'm just not into it. Now, your first year in this business, this is not going to be something you're going to do very often. You're going to take a lot of bad deals just because you're excited to have them. The more familiar you get with it and the more you learn how this business works and the more you do it and the more you get thrown under the bus and thrown to the wolves and just kind of tore up with your own dealings that you've decided to do, you're going to stop doing that real quick, and you're going to start charging for every little thing. There will be no arguing. Prices are what they are. There will be no deals or discounts. Now, if I have a customer, years from now that's been with me since the beginning, yeah, I'll hook you up. You have been there with me since the beginning. You are part of the reason my company is where it is, and I'm more than happy to help you out. It's not going to be an every time thing, but we'll work with you. And not only that, you may have a yard. We have several that we've let go that just are awful on our equipment, that literally beat the snot out of them, stuff that's constantly hitting the blades. It's costing us just as much to repair our equipment and keep our equipment up as it is to mow that property. It's dinging up stuff so much. So that's something to keep in mind too. Number 3, I'm going blank. My mind's going blank, guys. Just bear with me. Number 3 is make sure that you don't get in debt. That would be the biggest problem that I see a lot of people have is even when they're burnt out, they have to, even when just everything's going wrong and they're exhausted. Don't get me wrong, I push through a lot. But having to deal with people that you don't want to deal with, having to take deals you don't want to take, all kinds of stuff so you can pay for your equipment, pay for your truck, pay for your trailer. Don't do that, guys. Do not get yourself in debt. The freedom that I have compared to businesses around me is amazing. Now, am I foolproof? No, I still have to put gas in the mowers. I still have a house payment. I mean, it's not a lot, but we don't owe hardly anything, and that allows me, when a customer just becomes too much, I just cut them. Now, I don't just immediately cut customers. I've had a couple of customers I love to death. We've had 1 or 2 bad interactions. It wasn't really bad. Just things wasn't quite where I wanted them to be. And it's no big deal. Everybody has a bad day. We move on. We're good. But, when it's a repetitive issue, that's when I get rid of people. And being that I'm low debt, I'm able to make moves like that. And it's nice. It is a breath of freedom. And honestly, that's kind of what I wanted to get out of as far as leaving factory work. I don't like being forced to work weekends when there's really no business being there. I can't remember how many of those I did. And, to control my life. And if I go get in debt, I'm handing it to where now the customers control my life. I'm back in that situation again. I have a customer that's just running me through it. I have to deal with them because I need their money. I don't need their money, and I want to keep it that way. Number 5 is a big one. Kind of knew this going into it, but this is a really big thing. Now, you can make a lot of money doing this, guys. I'm going to be honest with you. There's weeks I've sat down and looked at our finances and thought, I can't believe I made this much money just mowing grass. Doing something that kids do when they're I don't know what it is nowadays. The world is a different place, but 10 to 14 years old, maybe younger, just to get some, side hustle cash to get them a video game or something. And I'm over here doing that, and I'm making, you know, a few thousand a week. And it's like, dadgum, you know, like that's not every week though, guys. Not every week. It happens a lot though, and I'm super proud of it, and I'm thankful, and I know a lot of you guys are hopefully making that, hopefully making more than me. I hope you are, guys. But it, you know, sitting down and looking at that, and you know, when you make money like that, now we don't pay taxes on it immediately. We have to get a business identification number and all kinds of stuff to pay taxes. That kind of stuff can run away with you, and you can wind up spending it just as fast as you get it, living beyond your means. You can go get in debt, which I don't recommend. And, you know, it can spiral out of control. And I know, like, I'm not sitting around like we're rich or anything, but, you know, let's be honest. Anybody that's making $1,000 cash a week, we owe taxes on it still. Like, I can't stress that enough, but we're still getting it. Or, you know, more than that, you know, you start feeling pretty good about yourself. And it's very easy to mess that up. But what the fifth thing is you need to save that money. You do owe taxes on that money. It's not just something that's going to be, oh, man, you made it. Cool. Just keep it. Don't tell nobody. That's not how this works. I wish it was. Honestly, I don't think a business that makes under $100,000 a year should have to pay taxes, a small business. I think it's insane because, you know, it takes everything we got and the stress we put into it. I mean, we get ran through it, and all the sales tax I pay on gas and everything else, the government gets their money. They just need a little bit more. But make sure you keep up with all your stuff, guys. Make sure you save money. There was at one time we were saving probably 7/8 of what we made. There may be a better fraction for that. I don't know. I'm not a mathematician, sue me. But we were saving a ton. Now, the building and everything that you see behind me, the arcade and the bar right here, now, this is costing. I built all this myself, so it did save me a little bit of money, and the movie theater in here. So we spent a little bit of money this year, but make sure that you save your money. Make sure you get QuickBooks, everything. That way, when that time happens, you're ready to go. Set all this stuff up before you even get started, because you could be somebody like me that's just tinkering with it. Next thing you know, you're a full-blown business and you don't know what happened. So I would highly advise that. But those are the 5 things that I learned my first year in business. There's probably some other things, and I may do another video throwing a couple more out there. All in all, I really enjoy running my own business. I enjoy the freedom that I have. If something goes wrong and I need to take a day off, I don't have to go ask my boss. I don't have to worry about getting a point. I have to worry about ticking a customer off, but, you know, I have more. It's not like all my eggs are in one basket, where if I'm working for one singular employee, and that in its own is kind of nice. So that is something that I really enjoy. And, you know, I am my boss. You know, I deal with everything. I put up with everything, and I'm really happy with it. Now, there's some days I get aggravated. Things are going wrong, but for the most part, I'm super excited. The other reason that you need to keep money put back, guys, is because equipment does break. And just because it has a warranty doesn't mean the warranty is going to cover it. They will find any reason they can sometimes not to cover your equipment. So just be aware of that. Anyways, guys, this has been Murphy's Lawn Care. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a thumbs up, guys. I really appreciate that. There's a big red button down there somewhere that says subscribe. Where it is, all the cool kids are hitting it, especially on this channel. And I know you guys want to be cool too, and that's how you do it. Anyways, guys, this has been Murphy's Lawn Care. We'll catch you on the next one.